good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. In today's episode, we've got more cookie clicker action. Ladies and gentlemen, I've ascended. We've got wrinklers. The grandmas are mad at me. Oh, things are popping off. All right. I know you don't care about it, but it's what you're looking at. So, tonight's going to be a Hodge Podge episode. A couple things that I'm into. I'm going to go over some Kickstarter stuff. Talk about my one-shot that I ran with some friends. And two or three other things here. I'll start with a quick little story here. The school year is about to wrap up. Got a couple weeks left. My Dungeons and Dragons club that I run is every other Friday. And we've got one more Friday left in the rotation. So one more D&D club. And it's been a pretty cool year. I got a good group of 5th graders that have come in. And 2 kids in particular really took to wanting to be dungeon masters. And so they're all about it. And that really frees me up to walk around, check in with other groups so I don't have to run a table. And it's a little sad as well. I've got one 8th grader in particular that has been with the club since the beginning. And this kid is so nice. Been the DM for his group most of the time, but has handed off and let other kids do it. I bought him Curse of Strahd. Must have been last year or maybe early this year. He was running the Dragon of Ice Spire Peak, which is I think the second box set. And just that kid was crushing it. So that's going to be sad. Maybe I'll do something nice for those 8th graders too, because one in particular, like I said, it's been there since the beginning, but a lot of them have been there for the last 2 years. And so it's going to be sad when they're gone, but glad to see that there's 5th graders that have come in and excited to continue next year. But continuing this story, today I was taking my daughter to her dance classes tonight, and when I was walking, the sun was directly in my eye, and I could see where I was walking, but that's really about it. I had the heavy squints going, and right next to my daughter's dance is a church, and at the same time my daughter has dance, there's like youth group stuff going on at the church, and there's tons of my students there. Usually see at least one, but tonight I saw one of my students, but another one that is this 5th grader that's taken over the role as dungeon master in the club. And so I saw him at the last second when I got into the shadow right before I walked in. From where he was, he could see me the entire time. But like I said, I didn't see him till the last second. And so when I saw him, shouted out his name and said, "Oh man, passed your stealth check, no problem," and just fired back right away. "Yeah, I'm +5 on dex." And just, that's obviously so nerdy, but just the way that kid snapped back with that response, I thought, yeah, this kid's going to be okay. So I love interjecting real-time D&D talk, like mostly just like skills checks. "Oh man, you gotta pass that skills check. I don't know, that looks like DC 15 on intelligence, whatever." And only my Dungeons and Dragons kids get it, so I can't use it all the time, but it's funny. And that was like the most like real world outside of school, just, it was awesome. That was a story for me, but I felt like telling it. All right. Hodge Podge official topic numero uno. Here is my Kickstarter backed products page. And I'm going to go down a little memory lane here because oh, what? Cairn box set canceled. Oh, I canceled these. Oh, I understand. Whew, I was freaking out. I'm going to go through projects that I have backed and talk about things that I'm currently backing and that maybe you want to check out as well. So, I normally just use Kickstarter on my phone. I use the app. And so this is my first time on this screen on a desktop computer. But we'll go through here. So this first one is non-RPG related, so not too big of a deal. But you'll see early on here, a lot of these are Mothership related. Mothership, far and away, my favorite system. D100, Roll Under, horror, sci-fi. The zine format, when I first got into it, I was like, oh my god, how can you run a pamphlet adventure? Like that's not even possible. Like you gotta have at least 50 pages to get anywhere going with the story. How can I do 2 front and back? That's ridiculous. Now this one here, abilities considered unnatural. This one is a little different spin on the genre. Joel Hines here is pretty big in the Mothership community. This does take place in space. It is kind of sort of Star Wars adjacent. We'll say there are, let's see if I can find the exact description. Let's go campaign. 52-page dungeon crawl through a temple mine full of plasma blade wielding zealots, so like Jedis. I actually don't think I have any plans to run this, but at the time when I got this, I was super hyped on Mothership. $7 for 52 pages. Yeah, I could not say no to that. Also, inspirations here: Star Wars, Aliens, check, awesome. The Village of Hamlet, I've never run that, but that is a classic D&D campaign from the early days. So I thought that was cool. The Caverns of Thracia, this one I don't know. Halls of the Blood King, I have a cursory knowledge of that. I picked it up in a store, almost purchased it. That's an old school Essentials adventure, but I did not check it out, though the artwork on it, I remember, is being cool. The Caverns of Thracia is an adventure for fantasy role-playing games. Well, I will check that out later. Okay, not going to talk about all of these here, but that was my... show more pledges. That was my first official Kickstarter for RPGs. Then, here was Mothership, the... what did I buy? Advanced Edition, Pro version. Let's see. View pledge. What did I get? The big box. What is it called? Deluxe set. And I don't know how this works because now they've fulfilled. I don't know. I guess pre-order. I don't know where you get it now. The box itself, it's just a real sneak peek of it. Very cool, very high quality box. You open it up, and for me, I had already printed off the rule book, the Warden's manual, the monster manual. It's not called that, but I've already printed all these things off because months ago they sent the PDFs of it, and so it was a little underwhelming. Thought, oh well, I already have everything in here. Why did I spend $100 on this physical copy? It did come with dice, which, in my opinion, very cheap feeling. It came with some cardboard alien stand-ups to go. They would serve the purpose as miniatures for the another bug hunt adventure. And for $100, if you're just getting into Mothership, I think it's worth every penny. I love this design, this box. And while you don't get a good example of what the premium box is, I would much rather have had this box. Personal preference. But I love Mothership. And even though I was underwhelmed with what came with it, because, like I said, I already printed everything off, like, I feel good giving them my money. An indie publisher, let's see, how much did they raise? Over $1 million. Can I find that real quick? $1.4 million, almost $1.5 million. I just think that's like a success story, and it's great. All right, show more pledges here. This is actually good for me to go through because some of these I'm probably like, where are these? Have I even gotten these yet? Let's see. The Cleaning of Prison Station Echo. That's a Mothership adventure. I don't care to talk about this one. I was underwhelmed by this one as well. However, let me see if I can find the Mothership one. Mothership. Dying on... Okay, yeah. So, dying on... Oh, something station. Mothership. Dying on Hard Light Station? Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know where my PDF for this is, but... Let's see. This one I bought. This is one of the more expensive. I mean, $8. I can afford it. But the artwork in this is phenomenal. If you love Mothership like I do, we'll just do this. This is the main one. There's other amazing ones inside, but this one is just so epic. And from the description, this is kind of like, well, Dying Hard. It's like the movie Die Hard. Torn between saving friends locked in the health tech facility or crawling to freedom in the vents of the corporate-controlled Hard Light Station. If somebody said, hey, Heath, I want you to run a Mothership adventure, my number one choice would be... it just came in the set, and I've talked about it. The Deep. That's not its exact name. Mothership Shayu the Deep. What is this one? Not Alone in the Deep. Shoot, Mega Dungeon. This will work. Gradient Descent. Yeah, that's my number one. I've listened to lots of Let's Plays on it, and I think it's super cool. That one is more lengthy than Dying on Hard Light Station. This one was, I think they said 28 pages, and Gradient Descent, I think, is double that approximately. But they came out with this one, the same makers of Dying on Hard Light Station, and I was like, oh yeah, order it, because the art on here is phenomenal. Even if I never run it, it's just cool to look at. And then this one is a completely different vibe, more cartoony, and maybe the story's better, I don't know, but the art just doesn't do it for me. Okay. Do I have to again show more pledges? Okay. Flea Mortals, talked about that. All right. This is the main reason why I am talking Kickstarter, because I am in the works of getting Sam Sorensen in for an interview. Time after time, I won't spoil this. I've gone over it before. it is incredible. This is like, and I'm not just blowing smoke because I want Sam on here to interview him, but like, this is for me, like, I come up with a vision for something amazing, and then it's like, man, that's gonna be a lot of work. Like, I don't know if I have the time, the effort. I don't know if the stick-to-itness of like the grind, just you progress every day, otherwise it's never going to get done. And the premise is, the short of it is, your players walk into this station and there are time rifts going on, and based on certain events, maybe you're in like modern times, or maybe you are, I forget exactly, you're like 3 days in the future or 2 days in the past. And while you go through the adventure, they talk about it really early on. Like, you can have a paradox where if you come across yourself in the past and you're in the future, that's a time paradox. That can't happen. You can't be in two places at once. And then your panic goes up. Like, the premise is so cool and the story is so cool. Time After Time is on my short list also of things I want to run. Gradient Descent #1. Time After Time is maybe more than Dying on Hard Light Station. It's really hard to pick. It's like picking your favorite children. Scrap Rats. You're a scrapper for Mothership. That's good. Mothership. Oh yeah, like this one, Terrors from the Cosmos. Have no idea. I funded it. Have no idea if I have it or not. I'm getting the emails from these two guys: Warped Beyond Recognition, Biodrones, and Cryo Clones. Love the name. Have no idea. Let's see. Broken Weave, I just did an episode on that. Break, I did an episode on that. Let's talk this. I can't remember. This would have been in my early days of the podcast, which I don't even know how long ago I started, but Forgotten Ballad is a Zelda-themed game. Highly recommend you check this out. I'm kind of kicking myself. I went back and forth for like 2 weeks. Do I order the PDF? Do I order the hardcover? I'd love to have a matching hardcover, but I know I'm not going to bring this to a table. So I just got the PDF. I said, well, at least I'll get something from it. But I think it was honestly 2 or 3 days ago. Like, you know what? Can I up my pledge? Because I got an email saying that fulfillment was happening. So it's too late, but maybe down the road, if they're available, I come across some birthday money or something, I'll see if I can't get a hard copy of this. There need to be more Zelda adjacent role-playing games, if you ask me. Here's one, a hardcover book. I don't know what happened, but at the time I bought it, I was like, oh yeah, this one I need it. I'm all about it. And now I don't even know what's in it. Let's go to campaign. A 5e horror resource guide. I think I bought it because $40 for the book. I thought, yeah, that is a steal. I don't remember how many pages. I don't know if I have the PDFs, but horror is my preferred genre. And even if it is 5e and that's not my preferred system, I think it can totally be adapted. Let's see, what do we got here? 1 to 6 adventures, scenarios, Evil Emporium, Dark Secrets, Tryst Trinkets, Black Magic, ooh, new spells, Cursed Cultures, Creepy Classes, and The Menagerie, a complete horror bestiary. That's probably why I got it. Let's see. Let's check updates, because again, I have no idea what is going on with this. Deck, didn't even know it came with the deck. Art and layout is on pace. That is as of a couple of weeks ago. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, this I need to do more with these guys. I don't know if I follow them, but I'll give them a shout out. Dice Quest. They come out with adventures for like $1, $2, $3, and can I? What do you mean buy now? I already own it. I backed it. This one I believe they sent out, and it was high quality. I gave it just a quick overview. I'm not in a place to run it right now, but definitely give them a shout out. I bought that one, and then shortly thereafter was this one. Of course, horror theme, so I'm all about it. Let's see. Live on Drive-Thru RPG. Do I own it? Let's see. It does not say that I own it, but if I go to add cart, does it say I own it? No. Let's go my library. Paste. The Undead Outbreak. What? Well, it says I backed it. Well, what does this say? One message. We appreciate your support to access the town. Okay, there we go. Proceed to checkout. Look at how terrible I am. I didn't even know. Place order. Let's check this out for $1. This is a Hodge Podge episode, which basically means I get to do whatever I want, even though it's my podcast anyways. The Undead Outbreak PDF. All right. Remember, this cost me $1. What do we got? Come on, internet. 20 pages. The Undead Outbreak. A survival one-shot adventure for level 5 players. Welcome to Dice Quest Original. We would like to start by thanking you for joining us on this journey. Introduction. The party slumbers upon the peaceful town of Bredon during a great festival. They sleep at one of the many inns at night, drunk and happy, but wake up to a nightmare. Bredon has turned into a zombie epicenter. All right, what is the hook? After a night of indulging in the festival's delights, savoring local delicacies, and making essential purchases for their journey, the party finally decides to seek refuge in one of Breden's numerous inns. The town is teeming with festival goers, but they manage to secure a room for the night. As the hours pass and the moon hangs low, a disturbance shatters the tranquility of their slumber as screams pierce the night. So you would read this to your players. The peaceful night is brutally disrupted by screams echoing from outside the inn. In the blink of an eye, the party rushes downstairs only to be met with a gruesome sight. Before you can fully comprehend the horror unfolding before you, you're faced with 8 disfigured zombies feasting on the lifeless innkeeper's remains. They turn towards you, their hollow eyes locking in your presence. Whoa, well, there's a nice hot start for you. Quality artwork. It's got the formatting of a 5th edition adventure. Here's a good layout of a map. Again, this cost $1. $1. That is insane. Can I figure out how much they raised? Let's see. $2,116. So if I was this guy by Dice Quest, whomever that is, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Dice Quest and see if I can get them on the podcast. I don't know how many hours went into that. I would guess 80 hours. 2 weeks nonstop working on it. Maybe that's too much, but I'm going to say 2 weeks worth. So let's get a calculator out. This guy, $2,116 divided by 80 hours. This guy got paid $26.45 an hour. It's not bad. And these are PDF only. So, and I'm sure Kickstarter takes their cut. So let's say $20 an hour. I mean, probably not this guy's main job, but that's a good payday. And let's go click on Dice Quest. They have 7 created. Let's do this new one. Assuming this is new. 2,500. Okay, this guy's doing good for himself. Good for you, Dice Quest. Okay. Moving along. This one was 100% a nostalgia purchase. They are re-releasing the Ninja Turtles role-playing game. And I don't really care to really run a Ninja Turtles game right now, because I don't think I would want in a role-playing game where you pretend to be somebody. I would want to pretend to be Donatello or Michelangelo or any turtle. And then to me it would be weird where like I live in this established world, probably New York City, and then the turtles are running around and maybe my players interact with them. If I'm a player, maybe I interact with them. It doesn't really seem like that great of a concept. But I love the Ninja Turtles. They're amazing. They raised $1.2 million. I mean, name recognition alone. I don't need to watch the video. Artwork on it totally brings me back to watching it as a kid. The cartoons. I did not get this like adventures book. It came with 2 different books. The core rule book, and then I think it's just adventures. But core book comic 2-page spread, yeah, it was nostalgia. And $50 plus shipping. All right, take my money. I'm not made of money, but take my money. Oh, here's Cries of the Overworld. $9 for the PDF. Pre-order here. Can I... If there's a hardcover book in here, it's not going to... Oh, yeah, that's right. I tried clicking on this before, this pledge box, and it said I needed to put in some code, and I didn't have that. Okay, well, I'll leave that tab open. This is how I get a zillion tabs a day, but I'm going to see if I can't figure that out. All right, Cartograph. I did an episode on Cartograph. They re-released, or they came up with, I guess, a second edition, the Atlas edition. More tables. I will definitely be doing a follow-up on that in the future. Another Mothership one. Oh, here we go. This is one that I probably won't ever run, but just the concept of it I thought was so cool. Build a mech, map the unknown, fight kaiju, and save your home. Solo to 4 players. Yeah, build a mech, fight Godzilla, map the area. So it was like, I think I had searched up Cartograph, or Cartograph had recommended this because like it says here, I believe it's mapping. I don't own any mech game stuff, but I think that's super cool. And then, yeah, you throw in kaiju. Yeah, sure. Check. Checked all the boxes for me. Let's go campaign. Make this map. What else we got here? Super flavorful art. It probably simple, but it works. I get Mothership vibes with this. Showdown with kaiju. Try not to die. Love it. Simple. Well designed. $25. Did I got the physical one? I must have. $25. Sure did. Worth it to me. Cairn. Slightly disappointed. Big shout out to Plague author. That wouldn't be on Kickstarter here. But we had talked to Karen, and I'm sure the box set is cool. Let's see, did this end, or can I still pledge? How do I know if it's ended? Oh, can't click pledge, so it must have ended. So, long story short here, I already talked too much on the topic, is it's a softcover book. And Plague hardcover book, Knave hardcover book. I think they said they did it to bring the cost down. Let's see if we can go to frequently asked questions here. Will there be dice, shipping? Why isn't there a hardcover option? We chose to make all the books for this campaign available in softcover to keep costs down and get the rules to your table. All right, I respect it. But I wish it was hardcover. Make it an option, right? Make a softcover option, make a hardcover option. I understand too many choices, too confusing. I get it, but I will say the coolest thing that I'm excited for is this Padlet, which I won't get because I got the digital version, but like these OSR games are known for characters dying quickly. And these just new character sheets just look so freaking cool. But I don't know, like to me it's just different than having like full-size printed piece of paper. Just here's your Padlet, like tear it off, give it to your player. Sorry, your character died, make a new one. I don't know. I love it. I haven't seen that before. And I say this a lot. I really discovered this a couple years ago about myself. I love creativity, right? Karen, name an OSR, Knave, Old School Essentials. Yes, it's very rules light, but it's different. And just these little tweaks, these little things, just they work for me. Oh, character sheet is a Padlet. Yep, got me. I love it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know. I can't explain it. All right, here's one I went back and forth also on physical copy or the PDF copy. Astro Prisma. This had a pretty successful Kickstarter. There's a good. I'm going to shout out a YouTube channel here. There's a good interview. Astro Prisma from a YouTube channel that I am coming around to. I think, yeah, I listened to this one. So shout out to the Weekly Scroll and this episode on Astro Prisma. I'll be honest, my first reaction was, dude, only 2.8 thousand views and you're on episode 148? And I in no way mean that negatively, because let's be real, I'm getting like 5 plays, which 100% fine. But I thought, like, man, this should be way higher. And how do I not know that you exist? You have 148 episodes. This was a month ago. Like, obviously, I can't know everything in the hobby. Like, but like, oh man, you guys are putting the grind in. 150 episodes. That's so awesome. What is their most popular video? Popular 12,000 views. Morkborg. Okay, good for them. Well, they did one on Dragonbane. So I'm just getting into these guys. I gotta check out their stuff, but shout out to them. TTRPG actual play and reviews. The Weekly Scroll. All right. Oh, they have a Twitch. I'll leave that tab up and I will subscribe to their Twitch. All right, cool. All right. Oh, yeah. Million tabs. Kaiju. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. Then we're done with that. All right. Kickstarter. I think I would kind of like to, more often at least, kind of have like a Kickstarter warm-up, seeing what's out there. This one I probably won't go in too depth here because I should really look at this before I jump in. But let's see. And I'll be honest, everything is usually on my app. I don't really know. Oh, here we go. Tabletop games. What do we got here? Oh, Adventure Time. I know nothing about the show. 6 days left. But I was hyped on it. I wanted to get into it. I knew this role-playing game was coming out. Clicked on it, and it's 5e based. It's 5th edition based. Not hating on it, but I've got enough 5th edition stuff. Remember what I just said a couple minutes ago? Creativity. Show me something new. Put a new spin on the hobby. And you're probably going to say, well, they have classes related to Adventure Time and spells used in the show. Okay, great. That just is not creative enough for me. Maybe if I was a fan of the series already, then yeah, I don't care about the system where I could change the system. Just, pull bits and pieces, homebrew what I needed to. But that's there. If you love Adventure Time and this is the first time you're hearing about it through me, great. Here you go. What do we got here? Playmat collection that popped up on my feed. Let's pick one here and do a little dive. Game Lib Pocket, a real board game library in your pocket? That doesn't sound right to me. Oh, you know what? Let's go to my portfolio, and where are backing projects? Because I'm backing some. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Maybe I missed them. Sorry, jumping all over the place. Huge creator in the space, Bob World Builder, is out with a book, Delve. $218,000. 22 days left. There's plenty of time left. I will be shocked if that doesn't get to $500,000. I think it should. And this is about pretty cool. It's for 5th edition and Shadow Dark. The physical book can be only one or the other, 5th edition or Shadow Dark, but you get PDFs of both versions, which I think is awesome. So let's go to campaign and let's get the little blurb on it. Okay. 10 dungeons, 40 plus, but 40 monsters, 40 magic items, traps and hazards. I'm pretty pumped about that. Player options, guide and tools for building and surviving deadly dungeons. And I think in his promo video, he says, like, well, where are the dungeons these days? It used to be unprofessional yawn, too late. But I'm here, grinding it out. Old school D&D was a small town and big problem nearby, a big dungeon. And the whole thing was go to the dungeon, fight the monsters, get the treasure, bring it back to the town. But now it's, for whatever reason, has evolved into adventuring, exploration. And yes, you can have an adventure exploring a dungeon, but it's not quite where the hobby's at right now. And so I think Bob here found a gap in what's going on, and I backed the physical book. One, I love his content on YouTube, so it's kind of my way of like, hey, here's a couple bucks, I appreciate you, but I know I'm also gonna learn and get something out of it. All right, another one I just backed, and this seemed like a no-brainer. $20 Canadian, so I think it was a little less, like $1,800. 100 backers, 1-page one-shots, and with ChatGPT, I can make a one-shot in 3 seconds for free. Okay. I have said before, I have looked high and low for really easy to run adventures for my students. And while not perfect, I think this is really good. So I hand this to a student. I hand this to a 10, 11, 12-year-old. Okay. They can read this little paragraph. They've got the attention span for that. It literally tells them what they need to say to their players. So there is no prep involved in getting the players hooked. Okay. Quest breakdown. Start at the Black Cork Tavern. Easy, normal name. Collect rumors and evidence about the venomous blade from the locals and watch for suspicious behavior. So, I don't know what that entails, but I think a 10, 11-year-old, okay, we can figure this out. Navigation. Follow leads through Silverinth's maze, like alleyways and rooftops. Use stealth to discover secret paths or meetings. Link to the rogue's location. All right, can I get... Do they give an example? Use of AI. Oh, I plan to use AI-generated content in my project. Oh, well, good for this guy. Whoa, I didn't even read this. Good for this guy. What parts of your project will we use AI generated? Most of the one-page one-shot images will be generated through Midjourney and curated by a graphic designer who is editing and even painting base images to ensure the artwork. Do you have the consent of the owner of the works that were or will be used to produce? We've obtained a Midjourney license and do not use any artist names in our prompts. Okay. Hey, respect. That is a big controversial thing in the hobby right now. I am all for AI. I'm for AI story creation. I'm for AI art. Sorry if you're an artist. It is the evolution of what is happening. And I think if you're not on board with it, you're going to get dusted. I did mention this probably in my AI art episode. At least for now, it doesn't necessarily create. It takes from the databases that already exist and congeals, it amalgamates from all of those sources to come up with something inspired by others. And hey, we all know cover songs that are close to as good, potentially better than the originals. And do people say, nope, don't cover my songs? I hate cover songs. I mean, I'm sure they do, but those are accepted, right? Maybe there's a monetary exchange somewhere and this is free. You know, that's the rub. Artists aren't necessarily getting paid, not getting acknowledged. And hey, I get that. I get it. But, you know, it's there. I feel like I was going to stick the landing on like a solid argument. I built it up and I didn't quite land it. But just know I'm pro AI art. And if you acknowledge it like he does here, hey, great. And if you say, no way, I won't support anything that's AI, all right, keep it moving. No hard feelings. Don't get mad at me. I won't get mad at you. Right? Agree to disagree. What else? Okay, I wanted to check this out. Game Lib? Gotta be Game Lib. Pocket-sized board game library. Easy to carry. It's ideal for playing on the move. I have no idea what this is. It's 52 games in my pocket. Okay. I will not waste your time with that. What else? Okay, I've gone through everything. All right, that is my Kickstarter spiel. Right. Oh yeah, how are my cookies doing? Any golden cookies? 6 quadrillion. Can't afford a prism. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, these are the 3 things we're going to go over. The Wizard's Watch, also known as the Druid's Disdain. Talked about this either last episode or a couple episodes ago. I ran a one-shot for 3 of my friends, one of them being Joel the Mighty, who I interviewed, and the other 2 are they want to get into D&D, but they have kids and families, and they're just way too busy. I've asked if they wanted to, but again, they're busy. So we had a hangout. We're all friends from high school, and we do an annual trip. So I was planning this story for them, and I think, my perspective, it went really well. We'll have the conversation on AI art. This is all just ripped from Google. I'm not planning on selling it. I'm not planning on claiming it's mine. All the art is, I believe all of the art is Creative Commons, but you have to give tribute or acknowledgement, and I don't have any of that, and there's no way I'm going to go find these all up. But maybe I'll see if I can find a place to post this for download. I don't think on Spotify they have anything like that, but maybe on my roll around email, my Gmail, I can open a Google Drive and then post it on there. Obviously for free, because I'm not gonna claim this is mine, but I think it went really well. I had to tweak this because I realized a couple things were not quite consistent, I'll say, but go back and check out the planning of this. That's what I had the episode on, and I thought it was awesome. I think they had fun. I used pre-generated 5th edition character sheets, and they got into the action right away. They're Joel has obviously played a lot. Here's an episode topic, talking out loud. Joel and I started Baldur's Gate 3, and so far, I love spending time with Joel. He's one of my best friends, but I'm finding Baldur's Gate to be limiting. Like, man, in D&D, I can do whatever I want. But Baldur's Gate is, I have to walk on this path. I can't even walk into the grass. But we have, like, I don't know, 5-6 hours in it, so my opinion will definitely change. So back to this one shot. My other 2 friends, they were running off the pre-made character sheets, and I said, hey, just know you're going to roll this 20-sided dice, and then if we're doing like a stealth check, I'll let you know. I'll point to your character sheet. What's your bonus that you're going to add to it? And if you're proficient, you add another number. And that's really all you need to know. Let's get into the action. And the pre-made character sheets have backgrounds on them. I don't know if I actually showed them. Let's see if I can find them, because it's worth showing. Wizard. Oh, no, let's do official D&D pre-generated characters. Character sheets, pre-made characters, D&D Beyond, pre-made characters. This is looking good. Yeah. It looks like it, but I don't think it's it. Well, here is a character sheet. That's great. But no, that's not what I want. It was starter set characters. Oh, okay. Well, these exist. These might be from the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Yes, I'm wasting your precious time trying to find these. Let's see. Is this it? This is... Oh, yeah. Here we go. We got it. Okay, so dnd.wizards.com/resources/character-sheets. sheets. Just rolls off the tongue. So let's go Drow Rogue. All right. Okay, this one's for me. This is funny. So Joel was a Drow Rogue. Here's his character sheet. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. So background story. It's me, Joel, and my friend Grizz. And this would have been a year or two ago. We played Mothership, I ran it, and we did The Haunting of Ypsilon 14. Joel has played, at this point in time, D&D for about a year, so he's well aware of how it works, but he's never played Mothership. Grizz, my friend Grizz, has no idea what's happening. We started real late, kind of had to rush things, but I think they had fun. But Grizz didn't quite really know what was happening, and I forget his character, what Grizz was. I think he was a scientist, or I think he was a teamster. And Joel was, I think, an android, but Joel took on this amazing. We joke about it outside of the game time. It was just great, called Senior Boom. And I gave them both hidden agendas, which, if you don't know what that is, great for a one-shot, and it's kind of like instant motivation excuse me, for your players. And they each have like a secret mission that they need to accomplish. And I think it was something along the lines of like Senior Boom's hidden mission was like, the company wants you to bring back a sample of the monster. And so Senior Boom, my friend Joel, who has played, like just the way he's going at it, he's not like helping my friend Grizz or hurting my friend Grizz, but he's definitely not helping. And Grizz is just kind of like, what the hell is going on? Why are we working together? Are we not working together? Is very ambiguous. Okay. And the kind of end result of that was like, Senior Boom, like, what were you doing? We should have worked together. We could have done more. So Joel, when we were now playing this story that I had written, he had just a glance. I think I brought in like 10 different pre-made characters, and he was torn between one character and this character, and he put his sheets behind his back, and I picked this one for him. And basically, this is a Drow Rogue thief. And again, this story is just for me. After the adventure, they successfully defeat the druid. They get his treasure. They find some mysterious item that's supposed to be meant as like a cliffhanger if they wanted to get together and do it again. And one of the last things is Joel goes to steal from Grizz, not cooperating once again. And we were laughing. We had such a great time. And it was just because, hey, Joel was just playing his character. He just happened to have like two thieving-ish or chaotic neutral, chaotic something like type characters. Okay. That story was for me. I'm gonna see if I can get this somewhere because I think it was a lot of fun. When going through it, I thought, man, you know what? I subconsciously kind of stole a lot from the opening of Lost Mine of Phandelver. That's the very first adventure in 5th edition that came out, and I think it's rated like as one of the best. It's rated very highly. I ran that in my D&D club my very first year, and I will say something that I thought was really cool, kind of out of context, drop you like halfway through the story, but eventually they know that they have to go to a cave. They have to go to the dungeon, and there's evil in the dungeon. It's called Stinktooth. And I'll pull up the picture here. Here's Stinktooth. And because of things that had transpired before, there was one goblin guarding it, just standing there, and another goblin on patrol, just back and forth, about 30, 40 feet, back, forth. And the Joel and I think Grizz snuck up and cast web. Grizz cast web. He was a wizard. He cast web on the two goblins who failed their strength saves, and they were stuck there. Then the other player, whose name in real life, who I've not mentioned, my friend Jeff. I forget the character he was, but he comes on up now that the goblins are webbed up. And the one goblin that was just standing there is holding a rope, or had been holding a rope. And the rope was the alarm system for the entire cave. One goblin on patrol, he's meant to take out the threats. Then the one that just standing there, he pulls the rope, and then all the bells ring and all the goblins storm out. So this is why I love D&D. So I enjoy being a dungeon master. Players successful. Cast web, stop the threat. Joel killed the two goblins, and the one goblin with the rope, he just dropped it. Okay, so then Jeff comes up, and for whatever reason, he decides to pull the rope. Like, he was just dead set, confident. Yeah, this is what I need to do. There's a reason why the goblin was holding it. And then I describe it as, well, you hear loud bells, and you can hear them one by one go deeper and deeper into the cave. Perception check. You hear a dull roar, and it's getting louder, and they're coming. And so they role played it perfectly. It worked out fine. What they ended up doing is getting most of the goblins out of the cave. The alarm was sound. They went out to defend the cave. Stealth checks were passed, and they were able to sneak in, and then they shattered the front so the goblins couldn't come back in. Great role playing. For Grizz, who, yes, he did play Mothership. This was his first fantasy and D&D experience. I'm almost positive he had a lot of fun. And then my friend Jeff, just the other day, texted about D&D. Sad he had to leave early, so he was sad that he couldn't finish it out. So I think this is a great one shot, but I need to make some changes. There's some inconsistencies and some things that I just knew that, well, hey, I'm making it and I'm running it in a couple days, so I'll remember to add XYZ. One thing I know is, like, this right here, I have text to read out for every room that they get into, or it should be for every room, but it's only like 1 or 2 rooms, so I need to go back and adjust that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun playing with Joel and 2 other people that had little to no experience. I think they walked away from that wanting more, enjoying themselves and wanting more, which I think is really all you can hope for. So, okay. Next topic. I, on DriveThruRPG, reached out. If anybody is listening to this and you know better than I do, let's go to... I don't want to create a PDF. Let's go to here. Let's go to DriveThruRPG and go to my library. If you know how to email authors directly, account DriveThruRPG, my library. Okay, here we go. If you know how to contact an author directly, please reach out. I want to interview the author of this new game, new system. Let's go to Piranha Squirrel Productions. And there's some very cool stuff. I am very, very, very excited. I want to interview the author of this, and if I don't hear from him soon, then I'm going to do an episode on it. But this Piranha Squirrel Productions, I left a comment because as a publisher, I guess you can't review anymore. But I said, oh, Cole Wilkerson. Here we go. I said, hey, reach out. I'd love to interview you. Here's my email. Roll around, find out at Gmail. This was 4 days ago. So maybe he's a post and ghoster. But if there's a way to get a hold of this guy, I'd love to reach out and I'd love to interview him. Let's open up the quick start guide. I purchased let's go to the library again, the player's handbook, the referee's manual or handbook, player expansion, OSR style magic items, and I think that's it. But we're going to go over the quick start guide. And I'm going to just focus on one thing in particular, but I highly recommend this system. The quick start guide is free. I don't think it has everything in here. When I glanced over it, I thought, I think I could run this, but if I wasn't experienced and this was my first RPG, I'm not sure I'd know what to do. But they give you pre-made characters. There's definitely no character creation. All right, slow down. I'm getting excited. There's classes. Here's the main gist. Super useful character sheet. There's a lot going on here, but it makes a lot of sense, and it's laid out very well, I think. This is a step dice system. No matter what the skill is, blocking, casting spells, regular attacks, environmental stuff, they are step dice. You start with a D4, then there's 4, 6, 8, 12, and no, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, okay. And as you level up, you increase your dice. This is a step dice system, and everything is an opposed roll. When I reviewed Hero Kids, I said, perfect combat system, opposed roll, perfect combat. Well, here it has opposed rolls for everything. Combat. And again, I want to interview the author because this is so great. It has magic broken down, elemental, support, holy, dark, residence, and they're kind of like Magic the Gathering. They're kind of like colored, white, black, red, etc. My big appeal, I think it was RuneQuest or Mythras, which it's been a long time since I've talked about Mythras, was the skill system. And here it's got all these skills laid out. It's not just like your abilities. I'm very pumped on it. And then we have up or down here for whether you get advantage on it or not. But all right, let's talk about oh my God, Heath, calm down. When I downloaded the quick start guide, going through, and I'm like, okay, yeah, got it, check, cool. First thing was a reaction. This, I'd love to see other systems that have this. I don't think this is the first time I've seen this, but at least where I'm at with the hobby now, this is amazing, okay? It's combat. You can move, you can attack, and interact with object, and that's it. Okay. However, you get this very fluid moment where you can have a reaction which you can use to block, dodge, hold concentration on spells, and other things. This reaction system is so cool. You get to make a choice on defense. 5th edition, most other role-playing games, you make the decision on combat when you are attacking, and then you're kind of like, uh-oh, I'm on defense now. I can't do anything. I'm stuck here. Yes, there are reactions. Yes, there are opportunity attacks. Yes, I am an idiot, but hear me out. I'm hoping in the quick start guide here they give you a table of what you can do for reactions. Healing and resting, you can roll medicine checks. And you can heal any character equal to your medicine roll. So, I'm going to talk about one big flaw that it's not enough for me to say I don't like the system, but one big flaw, I know I'm jumping all over the place, I'm excited, is what happens, is there are 0 modifiers. 0. Whatever you roll, you roll. Attack to hit is also your damage dice flat roll. You don't add anything. I'll talk about how I think that's a problem, but just know that's my big flaw. But if you want to be a healer, okay? Let's go back down to the character sheets. All right. Healing is probably a holy spell. You know that on a D4, you're going to get between 1 to 4, 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to 12. Okay? Now, my flaw with it kind of brings me to Dungeons and Dragons and the D20 system and why I'm not a big fan of it and how swingy it can be. So, you are in combat. Your ally has gone down or looking bad. You have leveled up to the max level. You are at a D12. Right? You have gone through all the steps, which is basically like for each die, you have to check a box 3 times. So you have to do like, let's just say 3 sessions, 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, you are on your 15th session, right? You leveled up this one stat. Player goes down. All right, best you can do, roll that D12, roll 1. That is a major feel bad. You have taken up all this time, these resources, this energy in making your character a healer, and there are no modifiers. Ugh. Not sure how I feel about that. Now, can you homebrew modifiers? I'm sure you can. That's why I really want to interview the author. That's a question I have. Okay, but let's go to. I'm super excited to show you this one thing. I haven't even mentioned it yet. Okay, so this is a super great page to give to new players. Defense, you can block, you can dodge, you can ward. Again, this is your reaction. So, does it say? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to just read these. Block. Characters can mitigate the amount of damage they take by blocking attacks. When you block, you take damage equal to the difference between the block roll and the attack roll. If the attack is less than a block, you take no damage. Opposed roll, baby. That's awesome. Okay? So, it's like a battle of you versus the DM. Not just the DM does something and now you just suffer the consequences. So you get to choose. All right, I'm going to block, right? I don't want to bump back down to the character sheet, but there's a block stat. Okay? Well, What if you don't want to shield? What if you want to be quick, nimble? All right, then you can dodge. I mean, anybody can dodge. You don't have to be good at it, but okay. Characters can try to avoid attacks entirely by dodging. When you dodge, if your roll is greater than the attack, you take no damage. When your dodge roll is less than the attack, you take damage equal to the attack roll. So you didn't dodge it, you take it all. So, love it. You get the choice. How do you want to build your character? You can either use your reaction to say, all right, I'll take half damage. No. I'll take the difference. So you're going to want to bump your dice up for that. Or you can bump up your dodge dice in hopes of never taking damage. You just dodge out of the way. So cool. The last one is kind of like dodge, but ward is for magic spells. These are, I believe, block and dodge are physical attacks, but ward is for spells. I'll read it. It says, most spells can be avoided. To avoid the effects of a spell, roll ward. If the ward roll is greater than the spellcaster's roll, then the spell is warded and does not affect you. Characters can choose to fail any effect that can be warded. Right? If you don't pass the ward save, then whatever the spell was going to do, the spell's going to do. It's kind of like dodge. All right? For melee, melee. There's range, melee, and unarmed. And they do have here, and I think that's a super fair trade-off that I don't think 5th edition has, is if you are really close to somebody, you attack with disadvantage. Again, I don't know if 5th edition has that. I've never played it. Usually it's like 30-60, which is, okay, up to 30 feet, you attack normal. From 31 to 60, you can attack, but it's at disadvantage. Beyond 60, it just can't happen. That's too far. The weapon can't go that far. So, like, if you're a fighter, I don't know the ins and outs of a fighter, but it kind of seems like, yeah, just pick a bow because you can attack close range just as like you can from distance. So why don't you attack at distance? Okay. Arcana, here are the colors: red, blue, white, black, brown. If it only had green, it'd be exactly like Magic the Gathering. Okay. Actions during combat. You can attack. You can cast spells. You can evade. Spend your turn avoiding the attacks of your opponents. You can attempt to dodge every attack made against you this round. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Your dodge, as a reaction, you only get one reaction. But if your main action is to evade, then you get to dodge every attack. So if there's tons of goblins on you, a swarm, you get to dodge each one. That's awesome. Fortify. Spend your turn blocking the attacks of your opponents. You can attempt to block every attack. Great. Awesome. Field medicine. Roll medicine versus target and heal the difference. I don't know what the target is, but you can heal. Per the rules, it doesn't even say you need like a first aid kit. I would probably homebrew, like, you got to have something on you. Hold an action. Improvise. Love this. It's kind of like, it's a bad example. Okay, you can hold your action in 5th edition, but hang on, I jumped all over the place. Sorry. Back it up. If I could delete the last 20 seconds, I would. Okay, improvise. I'll read it. Describe what you would like to do. The referee will make a ruling. It's got like homebrew built right in. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Back it up. For the one shot I ran, my friend Jeff had to leave, but Joel and Grizz were still playing. And I gave Grizz this magic rock. And I was super vague about what this rock did. And the gist of it was, if he was holding it, if he was interacting with it, it would do one good thing, and then the next time he interacted with it, it would do one bad thing. And just the way his timing worked out with how he was using it, he said, okay, me and Joel, they're at the boss fight. And he came up with this plan, and he said, okay, I want to Misty Step Joel close to the bad guy, but then I'm going to cast Fireball. I think I'm getting the order wrong. He was going to cast a spell, but he wanted to Misty Step Joel someplace. And Misty Step, I believe, is self. You can't cast Misty Step on somebody else. But as he's explaining it to me, I say, oh, your rock is tingling in your pocket. You get the sense that, like, yes, this will work for you. And I don't think they have, like, cooperative rules in D&D, even though they all happen at the same time. I don't necessarily know if that can work that way, which squirrel shiny things sub distraction here. In Baldur's Gate 3, I will be homebrewing at my table that if two players have initiative next to each other in the order, they can work together. They can improvise and have and combine effects. You can do that in Baldur's Gate 3. If you have initiative next to each other, you can work together. Joel and I are still figuring that out, how that works, but I think that's a super great mechanic. Also, in Baldur's Gate 3, squirrel, shiny thing, distracted, you can drink a health potion as a bonus action. What? That's insane to me. It's supposed to be an action. So, I will probably be homebrewing that you can do a potion as a bonus action. It seems kind of busted, actually, but it is what it is. Okay. Super cool. Parlay. Try to negotiate with the enemy. Roll the appropriate skill. Prayer. Try to convince your deity to help. Roll persuasion. Sprint. Spend your turn running. You can move an additional 3 meters, which I think is the default distance. Okay. This is amazing. Parlay. I know it from Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, I love non-combat characters, non-combat techniques. Yeah, negotiate with your enemy. So cool. I love this. I don't think I even mentioned the name of this game. Along the Ley Line. I was just so excited to jump right in. Along the Ley Line. Go buy it, support it. It's amazing. Okay, reactions during combat. Aid. Help someone close within 1 meter. They gain advantage on their action. You can do that in 5th edition. Aim. Gain advantage on attack against a character you select. Oh my god. It's like Rangers, what is that, True Strike? But everybody can do it. Yes, spend your bonus action to get advantage on the attack. Now, I want to get this across about how freaking cool this is, right? You get movement, action, and a reaction. So, if you want to spend your reaction aiming your arrow shot, go for it. Get advantage on that attack. Go for it. But then you can't block and you can't dodge or ward. What? So cool. You get to make decisions during your offense, we'll say, that will impact your defense. Okay, well, I'm going to give myself advantage on the attack, but that leaves me open to be attacked and I can't do anything about it. I've never seen a game that has that I can remember. Love it. Love it. So cool. This reaction system, chef's kiss. Cast spells. Some spells can be cast as reactions. You can dodge. You can drop prone. You can focus, which reduces chance of a spell failure. It's like aiming your arrows. You can do your held action, hold concentration, love it. Search, roll, investigation, sure, ward against a spell, great. This reaction system, amazing. Something that I need to read more up on for this is there are these turns, and I don't really understand how they work. Dungeon turns, there's adventuring turns. So these are things I need to read up on, but ladies, gentlemen, furries of all ages, this is something that my small brain has been wanting for a very long time. When I saw this, I like just sat there for 30 seconds like, what? This is the Bible of what I've been looking for downtime. Downtime for me is just this thing that I've heard of, but I don't really know, and I've never ever implemented it into my game. Well, here we go. I'm going to read this paragraph and then quickly go over the things you can do during downtime. This is for me. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, I've got a whole system in place. I don't even have uptime. It's all downtime in my game. Hey, good for you. I'm learning. One of the reasons why I do this podcast is to get better at the hobby. And the fact that I found this, it exists. Oh, so happy. Okay. While not adventuring, characters can spend time relaxing or preparing for adventure. Each day a character rests, they can choose 2 downtime activities. One in the morning and one in the evening, or one in the evening and one at night. In the full version, they have a really good time system, which super cool. I think there's like 12 shifts in the day, something like that. That's in the full version. Maybe we'll talk about it, but I doubt tonight. Okay. Characters who choose to attempt 3 downtime activities, morning, evening, and night, in a day, must make a body saving throw, a mind saving throw, and a spirit saving throw. Target 4 or the save they failed drops. If they choose to do this multiple days in succession, the save target increases by 1 each day. Okay? So you can do 2 of these things a day. You can rest. What? That's not like an automatic thing. It just happens? Nope, it's not. And it doesn't say you get full. You have to roll for it. All of their saving throws are restored 1 step. Okay? Haven't gone into saving throws, but just know that if you really want to heal up, you got to earn it. You really have to rest. It's not just we got in at midnight from adventuring and we wake up at 6 and we're good to go. All right. Carouse. Spend gold to gain experience. Now this is another question I have for the author. You get, I don't know if it mentions here or in the player's guide, you get 1 gold for every, or you get 1 experience for every gold you find, or maybe you get 2 experience. I think you get 2 experience for every gold you find, but then here you get 1 gold. Oh my god, slow down. You get 1 experience point for every gold you spend. And I don't necessarily know why you get experience for spending gold. I'd like to know the design principle behind that. Okay. Shop. This is probably like my number 1 downtime activity is shopping. In the campaign that I was in recently with Joel and my friend Anthony, just wrapped up. Not much shopping was had, and that's fine given the context of the story. Not much needed to happen, but there was an armorer, and I wanted to up my armor. 1 AC, go from splint to plate, I think it was. And that was a lot of fun. I was Anthony, the DM, I think role played it great, and said like come back in a couple hours. I got to craft it, I got to plan it, fair price. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun downtime activity. They have a system here for bartering. Train. Roll the skill you wish to train. If you roll max, gain a growth point. Won't get into what that means, but just know you're getting closer to changing a step dice. Alternatively, you can find a tutor. Tutors charge 20 gold, but give an automatic success. Awesome. Learn a language. Maybe you make it to a new area and you have to talk with a local. Great, go for it. Learn a new spell. Great. You must know the language of the spell. Once you know a spell, you can write the spell to create a spell tome using a crafting check. Crafting in here? Yes. Learn a trade. Find a tutor, pay 100 gold, and spend 1 week training. At the end of the week, you gain proficiency in the trade. You can discover new spells. There's the crafting I was talking about. Here's how to craft. I think they have a table. Maybe in the full version I thought there was a table, but here they give you a good little introduction on what it's like to craft magic items. So cool. Pre-generated characters, we'll just go over these. Okay, so Jen Erickson, they're a human, size medium, 19 hit points. Oh, we didn't even get to vulnerabilities. We talked weapons, but we didn't talk armor. So, did I skip it? No. So, remember I said, like, some things are missing, and how if you were a first-time dungeon master, you would probably struggle with this, because nowhere in here does it talk about resistances and vulnerabilities. So, a slight miss there. But, okay, just looking at this, they've got Jen Erickson, D4 for blocking. They got a D6 for dodge. Okay, so, their dexterity is high. Arcana, not much here. They're still at D4, so they're not really a strong magic user, though it can be done. Social, the only one that they're leveled up on is Intimidation. All right, so just back it up a little bit. Jen Erickson, they're really quick. They can dodge out of the way, and they're intimidating. To me, I also think like, oh, maybe you're kind of like a smack talker. Combat, melee. All right, they are up in your face. D6 for that. And environmental, D6 for athletics, D6 for medicine. All right. So I kind of am getting like Rambo vibes off this Jen Erickson character. I'm really quick. I can run out of the way. I am intimidating. I'll use a knife. I'll get right up in your face. And I'm out in the woods, so if needed, I can find herbs and I can heal myself up. Let's see. Specials. Innovative. You can use improvised actions as reactions. Okay, so cool. There's the whole improvised actions are like homebrewed stuff. So you could just say that, oh, hey, I see XYZ monster doing XYZ. As a reaction, I want to do XYZ. And as long as it's in the realm of possibility, sure. If you have to roll for it, yeah, roll for it. But I love that is out there in the open of like, hey, you do something you want to do it, homebrew it, go for it. Okay, so I wasn't prepared for this, but let me find. There's my two children. Along the ley line referee. All players expansion. Okay, here's the full player's guide. Oh, no. Nope, that's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. And I was surprised. It's 126 pages. Like, there's a lot going on here. It is labeled as a medium. Let's see, is it on the back page here? It is labeled as Where did I read it? Maybe on the back of the quick reference. Yeah, a medium crunch TTRPG with all new mechanics. That reaction is amazing. 6 species to choose from: human, dwarves, elves, orcs, halflings, and fairies. 11 classes, all new magic system. I'll be honest, I forget how. Oh no! Oh my god, I have to go over magic too. Okay, I don't want this to be a full episode on this. I'm gonna come back to it. It's so good. Okay, but I came here for the armor, so let's see. Can I just randomly find it? Oh wait, that's the quick reference. Okay. All right, armor. Combat turns under turns. Equipment. Let's try this, and if not, I'll control F. Oh, I found it. Here we go. Armor and resistances. Okay. Maybe it's just me. 5th edition. Doesn't really matter. Is it bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing? The campaign I just played, I can't remember the type of monster, but I think it was some kind of ooze. And if it was slashing, it would become half its size and split. Awesome. Needs to be more of that, but not much of a difference in types of damages. Okay. So you get armor here, which does not affect your armor class. You use armor for this here, for your resistances. If you are just wearing like leathers, oh no, not even leather, no, just like a t-shirt, no resistances. This one I'd like to look up a picture of what gamison is. I don't know, but resistance I believe is half damage to bludgeoning. Leather, half damage to piercing. Scale, half damage to slashing. Okay, so those are one type specific. Then you get nicer armor. Plate mail is 2 different: piercing and slashing resistance, and brigandine is bludgeoning and slashing. Okay, our damage type matters. So cool. Okay, last thing is spells, and I will go as quickly as possible because I don't really want this to be a whole thing. But you gotta know, it's so cool how it works. Okay, it's one of the last things. Spells. Classes. Here are all the classes: Knight, Errant, Aesthetic, Scoundrel, Hunter, Berserker, Divine Channeler, Clairvoyant, Sage, Spell Amp, Thaumaturge, Blood Mage, Hermit. Spells. Here we go. 96. Let's check it out. So, I believe there are systems to make your own spells. So cool. Dungeons and Dragons needs to have more of that. But then they also give you completed spells. And like I had said, there's the red, black, brown, white magic. They give you pre-made spells. However, you make it up based on 2 things. The element. Is it fire? Is it water? Is it lightning? Is it... let's see. Forms. Elements. Earth, fire, ice, lightning, smoke, thunder. Vine, water, wind. Okay, here are complete spells. So you pick that, the element, and then you pick the form. Is it touch? Is it cone? Is it cube? Future? I don't remember future. You touch an area up to 2 meters by 2 meters. You may use a reaction to set off the element. Rolling Arcana at the time you set off the element. If you choose not to set off the element, there is no roll. All characters within the area are affected by the element. Characters cannot ward the effect of this spell. I thought of this because when I was with my friends, we played GoldenEye, and I love proximity mode. You can set proximity spells. What? Oh my god, so cool. Hand. The element takes on the form of a giant hand. For as long as you hold concentration. When you cast a spell, you may place the giant hand up to a stone's throw away from you. For as long as you hold concentration, you may manipulate the hand just as you would your own. Okay, now, also, these amps here, you can use your reaction to amp a spell. You can make your spell in a wider area. Can you... no. Okay, these are mostly area. But here's a completed spell. You can amp the damage. You can... Let's see, are they all D4s? I think they are. Okay, no, D6. Here we go. You can concentrate and up the damage. Yeah, that's so cool. You should be able to upcast your spells. Well, you can do it in D&D. I think I probably have done it twice in my life. Maybe that's because I'm a bad player. But the magic system in here, so cool. I love it. Okay, that's along the ley line. This is one of my top 10s. I will probably talk about going forward along the ley line as much as I talk about my Final Fantasy, Omega Fantasy 2, and how amazing that is designed. The one big flaw, and why I love to talk to the author, is the modifiers. Can we get modifiers? Is there any reason why we shouldn't do modifiers? A +1, a +2? Is it just the dice? If it is, hey, I get it. But I love the opposed rolls. I love the downtime, spell creation. Wow, amazing. All right, last topic. I think I didn't set a timer. I don't know how long I've been going for. So I am not going to go into the depth I had wanted to with this one. But I have mentioned this before. This is, in my opinion, the most gorgeous game that exists. This art style just speaks to me. It's dark. It's brooding. It's amazing. All right, Symbaroum. There's a guy on YouTube. Let's see. Let's do another shout out. Even though he's so popular, I don't really need a shout out. But Symbaroum Dave Thomivore. This was 4 years ago. Go check it out. It's this dude, so cool. Laid back guy. How many subscribers does he have? Let me tell you, it's not enough. 32,000, not enough. Check out this video. Just going over this quickly here. Quick start guide. Just went over Dragonbane quick start. And which other one? I don't even remember. I'm starting to check out the quick start guides. This one here, 119 pages. They give you basically the setting, how to play, a brief adventure, and I think pre-generated characters. Oh, this art. The lore on this, I have to sit down. For time, I would just watch Dave's video again. But the lore on here, there's this like massive forest with like generations old monsters in there. Something like on the other side of the forest, or maybe even in the forest. These I don't even know, factions or race of people or kingdom stole another kingdom's queen, and it's like decades she's been gone, and there's wars being fought to get the queen back. I don't even know if she's still alive. Davikor. Yeah. This is also a mostly opposed roll system. However, it is roll under, which I'm a huge fan of, and there are modifiers in here. Oh yeah, just okay. Is this going to win any awards? No, but just the drab, dreary, art. Just really, oh yeah, this just, oh yeah, what is that? A gargoyle up there? Oh, so good. Okay, game mechanics. Here we go. Not too much more, and then I'll wrap this up here. The rules of Symbaroum are easy to use once you have learned how they operate. That's like the most, yeah, duh sentence of all time. Basically, the player character has 8 attributes with a value between 5 and 15. When faced with a challenge in the game world, the player must roll a 20-sided dice. In order to overcome the challenge, the dice must land on a figure which is equal to or lower than the player character's value in one of the attributes. It's a roll under system. For instance, if the character tries to do something which requires him to be quiet or cautious, the attribute discreet is used. If he or she searches for something or is on his guard, then vigilant is the active attribute. Okay? They go on to say that the modifiers are, if you're trying to sneak past a guard, whatever the guard's, this is not the right word, but I'm going to say vision is. If he has a high vision of, let's say, like 12, then take the 2 in the 1's position and minus that from your what was it, stealth stat, your discreet stat. So if your discreet is 12 and you have to get past a guard who is 12, then you take the 2, subtract it from your 12. Probably should have picked different numbers. So now you are at a 10, and you have to roll under that 10, which is harder than rolling under the 12. If he was bad, if the guard was also, let's say, sleeping or about to be sleeping, then his vigilance score or vision score would be 8. Okay, well now he's under 10, so you would take +2 and add 2 to your ability, which would make it that much easier, 10%, for you to roll under it. A setting in here, mechanics, the art, oh my god, it's just, and it's free. 120 pages of content that is free, and you can 100% run hours, months, a year, whatever, infinite campaign with this, and it's free. Oh yeah, changelings. I think you can play as a goblin and orc and stuff. Oh. Just look at it. Would you look at it? You know that YouTube video? You know, sometimes I just say, would you look at this? Oh my god. This is the most beautiful game in existence. The books are expensive. To get into this, would, knowing me, I'd be like $200-$300 easy, and I'll never take it to a table. So many other systems I would rather play, but Symbaroum, check it out. Go check out Dave's video on YouTube. I'm just drooling over Oh yeah, these are like the beasts that live in the forest. This is free on Drive-Thru RPG. Just go check it out. Just look, it's so dense. It's so dense. Oh, here's the you wanted monsters? You got your monsters. Oh my. Oh. Pre-made characters, check. Oh, what is this? Blight Knight. Is this an adventure? Sure looks like an adventure. I didn't know this was in here. There's also develop this one-shot adventure may be developed a number of ways depending on I'd have to read that because I kind of just skipped over that and I went to this, the Throne of Thorns, which awesome name, and then this spoiler alert. I think this is a one shot that they sell and they kind of give you like the so gorgeous, the like premise of the story, but not enough to necessarily like. Yeah, this section aims to provide a general and concise description of the chronicle as a whole. So you're not enough to like run the adventure off of, but just enough to be like, oh yeah, once I ran the free one shot that's in here, this is probably our next go-to that we want to do. So this is a great quick start. I love it. I might do maybe on the next Hodge Podge, or just maybe me personally in my free time. I want to fill out this character sheet because these abilities and powers are what kind of I have no idea. I've not seen a character sheet like this. I think there would be quite a learning curve to it. But yeah, Free League, they are winning all the awards lately. They are just crushing it. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Well, here ends another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. Hopefully you learned something. Go check out those quick starts, or this quick start. Go check out Kickstarter. That's what I actually meant to say. Check out these pre-made character sheets. If you're running a 5th edition one-shot, this website has tons of characters, and they're all leveled from 1 to 10. Against the ley line, along the ley line, pardon me, quick start is free. I think I paid $4 for the player's handbook and $4 for the referee's guide. $8 for a total game with these reaction systems. Make your own spells. OMG. I will see if I can figure out a way to post my one shot that I ran. I gotta tweak it, but take it as an alpha version, I guess. Go out, find something that excites you. Go play. This hobby is amazing. Do something creative. See you in the next episode. Later.